Again, the battle for
Let's
thirds
go,
here for
brother.
Dfyg
Game
and
kedua.
Aurora Gaming Philippines. We heard the cheers. We heard the cheers when the
Dfyg
draft was going through.
versus Aurora
Wolf, what do you
PH.
think of this? I mean, they were so dominant game of one for Aurora Gaming. This draft, a little bit different, you know, but I think it's still going to serve a purpose, just like we saw in the last one. And this is, yes, a Guinevere in the jungle in the hands of Dfyg.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think this is a good composition for Dfyg in general. It's so difficult to kind of activate in a way. Maxia Roam has not been the strongest roam. And I kind of want to see Zed on. You're going to catch all of those heroes that actually force something to happen. And of course, Long's performance on this Ruby in game number 1 is you know, a testament to how not masterful they are with this Ruby kind of composition. Because again, there were so many jumps from Aurora Gaming where Long wasn't able to even land the stun, not even a second skill, you know? So this guy quite scary for Dfyg, especially in elimination. But they have been in this spot before, so we'll see. Aurora Gaming, pretty standard draft we're seeing from them. So Edward with the Arlet, you with the aggressive playstyle on this Lunox. That's complemented by a Khalid. So this will be a lot of aggression coming out from Aurora Gaming once again.
Yeah, this is one of those things. Okay, Light does use the flicker to the quicksand guard back up to health, but that's one of the main things. Is as long as I feel like for Dfyg's lineup, as long as Light doesn't start getting a crazy start on this roam Khalid, you know, to the point where he's actually just able to go ahead and poke down a lot of the members of Dfyg early on, then that is already step one. The other part is, like you said, I think this game has to be for Long to make it a much better game than the previous one. You know, it's Dfyg actually might be in trouble here.
Yep, it's a Guinevere being chased down. If anything, there's a lot of gap closing coming out from Dfyg. There's a lot of reach. Let's see, of course, the Veil, you have the Flicker, the Lapu-Lapu that gets getting to the fight so easily. Get out of the fight so easily. But UA was prepared for that one. He knew where the Lapu-Lapu would jump. Now, D1 wants to pop the ultimate in front of 3 members of Aurora Gaming. Aurora smartly. It's going to be waiting for their Guinevere to be there.
They're going to delay it.
Stopping the recalls, yep. But just buying enough time because now they are
lagi, guys, ya.
It seems like there's not going to be any fight at all as Dfyg will not contest this quietly out there. Nice though. It's the Yisun stealing the buff.
Yeah, he can steal the buff, but they have the information here. He should be able to get away. Supercan mobile enough, has Long there just in case. But, you know, that's the interesting thing. The UA is still very aggressive on the Lunox to get an early kill for himself, and that's kind of what we saw last game too. You know, but he got the first blood. Well, this time around, he gets the second kill of the game. And that will help them have that power spike early on, at least in the mid lane, if you're looking at the mid lane there for UA. And Zed's going to crash into Light here, but just again, trying to keep him out of their jungle. And that was after that steal towards that purple buff. But Dfyg actually is, yeah, did he just take it earlier from the attempt?
Yeah, I think he was able to take it.
He was actually able to take it, okay.
Yeah, because the reason why I can say that is because of this lead that he has. Like, he's level 6.5 compared to just 5.5 for Long. Granted, of course, there are 2 cards still remaining for Long to get and collecting the bottom lane, but I feel like there is already a lead that is being built by Dfyg. You also have to factor in the double lane that Aurora Gaming was able to set it up with. Dfyg has to kind of catch up when it comes to the gold. It's not that much, but Aurora Gaming, just because of their maneuvers, able to set up for their course, and Veil being taken out up top. That's Guinevere and Arlet. A lot of crowd control between just the 2 heroes of Aurora Gaming. And now, yep, Dfyg have just lost their XP laner, and it's 21 seconds before the second turtle of the game. I'm pretty sure that Veil will be in position to contest this. Let's see how Dfyg will try to go for that one. They're trying to defend. Oh, Light forcing that flicker from E1. What a feint coming out from Light. And the ultimate, they even forced the ultimate onto Zed, Mountain Shocker as well. Aurora Gaming, because of that tactic coming out from Light, it kind of looked like he will initiate with the flicker.
It was a fake out.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's, I mean, that battle spell being gone and plus the Revitalize used up, is a little bit of an advantage to work with into this next turtle. Kite as well, he's been double laning like crazy. Super Ken's just going to take the purple this time around. He's going to take that again. Meanwhile, you still have Kite just kind of buffless right now. They jump in on Edward.
Yep. Oh, Edward misses the mark with the flicker. Turtle's still up for now. Dfyg has regained control. Super Ken is level 8. They can definitely take this one out just like that. Another outmaneuver, but this time it's from
Super Ken-nya.
And that was purely off Aurora Gaming just not landing the things they wanted to. Light is actually going to be in trouble here. Yeah, he's gone. Oh, he's not gone.
Flicker.
He uses the flicker.
Okay. Smartly does not attack anyone so that he keeps the passive. Gets the Raging Sandstorm and then the flicker out. Waited for a stun to happen. That's when he reacted. So he is safe for now. But will that be good for Aurora Gaming, not having the Raging Sandstorm as well as the flicker? Find out, as it seems like Zed is looking for a target. Not gonna find any, as Kite, I think he's more interested in getting the farm than he is getting any kind of retaliation now.
Yeah, look at this positioning.
However,
though.
Well, Kite getting dodged by Super Ken. There's so many sweaty movements coming in from Dfyg as well as Aurora Gaming. Kind of feels like there's a fight that's about to happen, but it doesn't. Oh no, finally with a 2-man stun! Got just two! Final stun is not gonna be enough, not even close! Edward's surviving for now, but a double for Yi1, and that's Long picking up the slack from the previous game.
There we go, Long. He goes again and he makes it happen. Raging Sandstorm won't connect on Vel, but Kite's now here.
Up, they want to kill Zed. It's taking so much time. Vel is here. Not gonna be there for any exchange. They don't have the Farsa ultimate anyway, so they will not risk that at all. But for getting so much out of the map just because of that death on that Baksha, I think that they're fine. Dfyg are so happy about that trade, and now they will scout out the members of Aurora. It seems like Super Ken will just split push up top. Expanding Rivers allows Light to kind of move into position now to scout where Dfyg players are, but Aurora Gaming are still just prepping up for the next turtle.
Yeah, I like the way that Super Ken's moving around the map. You know, he doesn't necessarily even need to be there for these fights, but mid, it might be a forced one.
Yep. Want to go for this backshot. Light is going to be the exchange prisoner in here. Zed taken out. Light maneuver into the backline. Slow. He had a kill on there. Ruby. And there's the Raging Sandstorm. Point blank. He wants going to be taken out. Super Ken can't get out because of Traceless. I don't know where Aurora Gaming have procured 3 kills for themselves.
Pretty decisive when they know that they are able to land their ultimates or the crucial skills here, Wolf, because it's been a couple times now they've missed it. They're going to go ahead and clear out that mid lane. So Dfyg holds on to the tier 1 mid turret, but Doming Kite does the work down bot to get their first turret down.
Aurora.
And so this is an adjustment, I would say, for Aurora Gaming Philippines. They got to be able to land those ultimates and those skills that they've been looking to land here. Super Ken?
Oh, there's the cavalry of Aurora Gaming up top. They have taken out Super Ken. Couldn't even react to that. Rest of the, I guess this is just because of Aurora Gaming's movements. Now finds another. That's a big kill as well. Well down, and now Light want to go for Yi1. With Edward in there, they will have enough damage to take out. At Farsa again. Out of nowhere, out of thin air, Aurora Gaming found 3 kills. Zed might have overstayed here. Does have to revitalize. But against the Lunox with that HP-based damage, I will allow them to get a kill. A mega kill for Light. 4-0-2. A consolation prize. Ruby gets a turret down the bottom lane, but that's Aurora Gaming just finding kills after kills after kills.
There's just been a whole lot happening in the past like 2-3 minutes on both sides. It was a bit of a hope there for Dfyg, but then Aurora Gaming Philippines completely brings it back into their favor off of a couple decisive plays now. And, you know, everything that they did in the last couple minutes too, aside from, you know, knocking down a turret, didn't include Kite. You can see he's been able to go ahead and farm up really well. Look at the gold that he's got here already, the 3 items. He's got the 3-item power spike on the Claude now. So now we're going to see him be most likely a part of these fights a lot more, especially after those tier 1 turrets have fallen down. So, you know, over on the other side, I think we need to see the same thing for Dfyg, where Lung's got to be able to get that pull off. That Raging Sandstorm was used, but Lung, just as I said it, he's in trouble. He'll go down. Another pickoff.
Ovel and Zed have shown themselves as well. They will be chasing by the Requiem, taking the kill onto Zed. This is before the Lord fight has exploded. Super Ken pops the ult. In comes Bell onto the back. Nice Yue with the brilliance. Gets out of there. The blazing Yue into the back. That's going to be enough to take on the Dfyg. That's Bell. As well as Super Ken down for the count. They tried to go for a 2v4 play. And it failed horribly because Yue was just so quick with the brilliance. And not only will they get the kill, they will take on the tier 2 in the mid lane. My God, Aurora Gaming are just destroying the Dfyg now.
Yeah, they look to make that adjustment that they needed. They're landing the ultimates they need. And like you mentioned, great timing from Yue there with the brilliance to avoid that setup or potential counter attack from Dfyg. It doesn't happen. And now Domikite also picking up the winner crown. Zanima Offended is going to be used. This should be a kill for them. Demon Kite does fall, so that's one that Dfyg gets. But man, they're still down a ton of gold here. 6,000 right now with the Lord making his way up top. Aurora Gaming wants to take some more turrets down if they can get this bottom tier 2. Feathered Airstrike used to keep him at bay. Conceal's going to be used. They're going to just go for it. Oh, brilliance again by Yue. Right on time. Look at Light.
Yue. Light wants to go for some backline play in here, but Edward has already recalled out. How about that from Yue? Quick on the trigger with the brilliance. How many times has he escaped certain death because of that? Giving Aurora Gaming ground. Onto the push. Up top. Defense from Dfyg is going to be great. They also have the Farsa anyways. When they pummeled down, Zed forced to use the revive. Now the final slash the 2. No combo just yet. And what was to still fight this? The Vengeance plays actually be in the favor of Dfyg, as that was a very, very unlikely move coming up from Edward. Counterplay from Dfyg. They'll just take the purple now. Like getting cut by Zed, but there's no commitment yet from Dfyg. They know that they... Okay! They want to go but the Brilliance once again. Now the blazing to it on top of it. Super Ken down for the count. Fender Deathstrike not nearly enough. Yue outplays with the flicker. Vel is down. Yue, oh my goodness, this Luna's player and another outplay. Yes! He will nail it! As the Ruby has been baited into that spot, lured into a trap. Aurora Gaming claims 3 kills.
Whew. They've just been basically saying to Dfyg, let's fight. Since the start of the last game, they're going to take this mid turret down with a wave pushing in mid. Do they try to end it here?
Yuan.
Oh, they might try it. Demon Kite looking for Yuan this time. They have canceled the Feather Strike, but Demon Kite is low. Yuan wants to get a kill. Of course, Aurora Gaming will fend off the attack. Dfyg will defend for now. But they have their base.
They defend.
Blown wide
that's
open.
What we're seeing
that
here,
mid lane
Wolf,
inhibitor is down.
They're just taking the chances. They just want to go for the chance, man. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, time and time again, they're just kind of throwing, like we saw in game 1, where they're just throwing their bodies at Dfyg. And so with this, they'll wait for this Lord.
Okay.
Potentially, I mean, I would say, you know, typically they would wait for the Lord, and sometimes they don't have to.
I think I'm back. I'm sorry about that.
You're back. Yes, you are back.
I think I got disconnected for a bit because of how good the defense was. But we'll see. This will be a purple buff fight for now. Super Ken really wants to take this without the retribution because that's important. And because of that, it's Demon Kite to collect it.
Yeah.
Well, not.
They're going to go for the Lord.
We still have the retribution. That's what I meant. Light up top. Now it's the conceal play. Going in, Zed looking for a target. Will have to back out for now. Light still staying onto that part. They have to be careful, but the Mountain Shocker
look at Light.
Gets spotted out. That's gonna be Yue going in for Yi1. Yi1 out. That's the Farsa down for the count. Main DPS of Dfyg out for 30 seconds, and that will be enough for Aurora to cleanly take this Lord.
They fought for it. Light. I almost expected Light to continue on. I thought he was actually going to just try to initiate there, but he actually probably got the call or just made the call himself. You know what? Let's just go ahead and wait. We have the Lord. Let's go ahead and push into this. Yi1 will be back up by the time this defense breaks out. So for that, once again, Aurora Gaming Philippines looking to cap out this series. The battle for thirds here in a sweep with massive lead right now, 10,000 gold nearly. A winner crown also picked up here by Demon Kite. They're looking to potentially bait Dfyg once again as Lord is worked on. Top turret's going to fall. Bottom's going to be next to focus. Dfyg on the defense.
Oh, Light with the Heptaseas. That's going to be quite interesting in here. Aurora Gaming are not going to be too aggressive. They're not going to be clumsy in here. They're going to be waiting for their opening. But then again, that will mean that they might prolong this game a little longer. They'll be setting up for another purple buff take that looked to be a very quiet siege coming out from Aurora Gaming. Nothing really over aggressive or anything. They just let Dfyg defend.
Yeah, it's in a sense though too. It's also just respecting the clearing capabilities that Dfyg has. Even though they're down this much gold, if they technically kind of misstep into the base, if they get pulled the wrong way with Long on this Ruby, they could end up giving a ton of gold over to Dfyg. So, you know, disciplined enough to just take that base turret, even with a lead like this, and then just kind of get ready to manage the wave. Yeah, I mean, you're still a minute, nearly a minute and a half away from that Lord, a little bit less, but you know, you're not really going to be able to do too much with if you're Aurora Gaming Philippines here, just because even trying to get to the last base turret of Dfyg is going to take some finesse to make it work. Or, like I said, they've been throwing their bodies at Dfyg for the majority of the series. Edward could just force, you know, something, but again, it's just not the best case scenario for them. They don't want to get a overstep and want to maintain that discipline, at least for this game too here.
No need to rush. They still have the Claude and the Lunox as late game scaling. That will mean though that Dfyg will be picking up some of the items that can be instrumental in a potential comeback if they play it properly. For example, they have the Chaste Pauldron, which will be great for the Claude. Of course, the Winter Crown is generally a good item to have up against Aurora Gaming's composition. They might even go look out and punish this Khalid coming up from Light. This is a roamer that picked up the Heptaseas. But I guess in that specific scenario earlier, when they could have pushed, this would have been deadly, but Dfyg are not prepared for it. They have scouted this out. They know what the items are for Aurora Gaming. However, Lord is still an issue. And for Aurora, this will be an easier take for them. Naturally pushing lanes up top. They also have the mid lane that also naturally pushes because of the big minions. Gonna be a-okay for this trade. If ever, Zed is looking for a target around, but it seems like that's not gonna be the case. Our Gaming are baiting once again, Naisu.
What do they want to do? I know Light's gonna go handle that wave up top. They're actually gonna just go ahead and wait and let Dfyg take this Lord under half.
Yep. They knocked it up. Oh, they have control. Demon Kite for now. That Super Ken actually stealing that Lord. And now the damage from Dfyg is there. They take out Edward. And now it's going to be you to take out Long. Well, Winter Crown is going to be there. But now they might punish Demon Kite because of that. Demon Kite is able to get out. Still has the immortality intact for now. And yeah, that's daylight robbery again from Dfyg. They make these aggressive plays and they are rewarded for it.
Yeah. I mean, just taking the Lord alone buys them the time that they need to go ahead and get some more items locked in here. And, you know, if they continue to do that, like I said, even in game one, there was those moments where Dfyg was able to go ahead and find some way somehow to potentially bring a game back in their favor. This Lord's going to be worked on, though. They want to force it.
Oh, they want to force it, but you win. Already taking out Ewan. That's going to be a great kill. No reaction just yet from Dfyg. The defense is going to be there for Aurora. One turret is what they achieved. But that is already a step in the right direction for Dfyg. More than they could have asked for. Right?
Yeah.
Now, Aurora Gaming, they're looking for any exchange here.
Oof. That was I'm Offended used too. Knowing that the Farce is down and no I'm Offended, they could actually get this base turret or at least pressure it. Edward doesn't have the flicker, neither does Light, but this one cannon minion will bring him in. Not sure if it's going to be enough. It will go down to the turret though as that wave pushes in. So that was the job. They got it done. All base turrets down here for Dfyg base exposed up to this point. Still about a minute away from that Lord to come up. Looking at the items too, you know, like I said, off of taking a Lord, getting the game now to a 20-minute mark. Despite Aurora Gaming Philippines having a lead for the majority of this game, you know, you could see Dfyg is potentially in a position to at least maybe steal another Lord, maybe even fight for it to an extent if they're able to go ahead and land things the way they need to. Again, in the objective sense, Lung, it's just one pull. Like sometimes that's just how it works with Ruby. It's that one I'm offended combo that can set things up for the team, but the same can happen to them as well with Aurora Gaming setting up around a Guinevere for Demon Kite or Edward or Light. There's so many options that they can go with here. But I will say, despite this massive lead, Zed though.
This is not going to be good for Dfyg. They have lost their contact hero. This is a lot of vision that they will lose out on.
Zed.
And now they want to go for an exchange for Demon Kite actually, but they might get punished for it. Vel surprisingly tanks that like a boss. Didn't even get any of the HP out. But now Aurora Gaming still working on the Lord. Gonna look for Light.
Light.
You want to combo with you as well. Farce not deleted, just like that, erased from existence. And now Aurora Gaming has taken the Lord for themselves. With just that one combo play from the roamer and the mid lane of Aurora combining together in perfect harmony, they have gotten an important lead in this match.
Yeah, and without those two members, without Zed and Yi1, it's going to be very difficult to defend as Aurora Gaming looks to end it here.
Yeah, they're looking for the base end. In comes Long with the initiation. Now the damage coming up from Vel. Yue has to run away. Gonna be Immortality Pop. Long in trouble. Has to win the punishment. Vel receives the violent requiem. A lot of the army of Aurora Gaming now into the base. They have controlled Zed as well. That might be it for Dfyg. Aurora Gaming takes it a 2-0.
And Aurora Gaming Philippines will be your third place finish here. Games of the Future, Abu Dhabi 2025. And Dfyg